The woman emerged from the convenience store at the gas station, a bag of chips and a large bottle of cola in her hands. She walked over to her car, parked out of sight behind the corner where it couldn't be seen from the register. Casting a cautious glance towards the store, she saw no one and proceeded to open the trunk. Tossing the chips and cola inside, she carefully unzipped her jacket and retrieved her haul from under her arm, a pile of cheap cookies, dried fruits, and candy bars, anything she could grab from the shelves while the cashier was preoccupied. It wasn't much for her 3 growing kids, but it would stave off hunger. For now, what lay ahead, she didn't dare to guess. Sitting behind the wheel, she started the engine, glanced at the dashboard, and cursed issues with the right rear wheel. Stepping out, she inspected it flat, completely deflated. Patching it up would be pointless. She didn't want to linger at the gas station, but the wheel needed changing, and she had to get out of this forgotten hamlet in rural America as quickly as possible. Desperately searching for the spare tire in the trunk, she found relief in the thought that the car was brand new. It would be strange if it didn't come with one. Asking for help at the gas station felt daunting. Trouble, MIS. A voice called out. It wasn't the cashier, which put her at ease somewhat. It was a guy, a bit jittery, but his face hinted at a life once well fed. Though his worn jacket suggested otherwise, or if he was a vagabond, it hadn't been for long. My dad has the same car, he continued. The spare tire isn't in the trunk, it's underneath. I can show you how to release it, if you'd like. The woman stepped aside, nodding her approval. The guy deftly maneuvered some levers, and the spare tire appeared from under the car. I can help you put it on. I know how, he offered. Together with the woman, they propped up the car, removed the deflated tire, and bolted on the spare. Everything all right here? A cop appeared out of nowhere. Both the guy and the woman tensed. The cop probably didn't sense the tension only fugitives would pick up on each other's unease. They had become too accustomed to hiding and running, understanding each other without words. Little brother, are we done here or do we need help? Yeah, no, sister. Looks like everything's in place, we can go. Can we help you with something, sir? The policeman scrutinized their faces. A woman, in her early 30s, who could have been beautiful if she hadn't looked so unkempt and exhausted, without makeup, her stale hair tied up messily, and a guy in his mid-20s, unshaven and scruffy. Both were friendly but slightly wary, just like any law-abiding citizens in the presence of a cop. In our state, it's prohibited to pick up hitchhikers. Not receiving any reaction from the attentive faces of his audience, he continued, "Don't pick up strangers along the road. Several people have gone missing in our area. Be cautious." "Yes, of course we're leaving." "It's my turn to drive, brother?" The woman replied. "Yeah, I think I'll catch some sleep." The brother smiled. They calmly fastened their seatbelts, slowly drove away from the gas station, and once out of sight, the woman hit the gas, despite the snow-covered road not being conducive to haste. "Dennis," the guy introduced himself. "Emily," the woman replied. "So, if it's not a secret, what have I gotten myself into?" "The car's stolen," the woman replied quietly. "I'll drop you off at the nearest town." The guy cursed. "It'll be a while before we reach any town in this wilderness. Are you scared of the cop?" The guy grimaced. "Ran away from my folks. Thought they were looking for me." "Of course they're looking for you, they're worried." "Yeah, which is all the more reason for me not to go back. My old man will lose his mind for disgracing the family." "Is it that bad?" The guy ran his fingers through his hair and showed her a scar on his head. "I was 5 and didn't listen. He cracked my skull open over some stupid mistake. In college, I was forced to pursue a finance degree because that's what Daddy wanted. I have to follow in Daddy's footsteps. I have to behave the way Daddy thinks is right. I ran away. I'll make it to the coast and start my life there. A real life. My life. Not the one someone else chose for me." The guy raised his voice, hysteria creeping in. "Shh. You'll wake the kids," Emily whispered. Dennis glanced back. 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy lay sleeping on the back seat, their heads nestled together. They were out cold. Not even a cannon could wake them. "Sorry, it got to me," the guy whispered. "Yeah, okay, I understand." Not my business, but what's going on? With 3 kids, in a stolen car, out in the boonies. Where's their dad? The woman bit her lip. Don't tell if you don't want to. I just figured since we're talking. Their father was killed, the woman blurted out, and then they decided to get rid of us. We were just living, minding our own business, but there are people who don't like that. My husband got in their way simply by living an honest life, and they shot him. And then we had to follow. I escaped with the kids. We were walking. This is the 2nd car I've stolen to keep us from being tracked. Bad people? The woman nodded. For a while, they drove in silence. Hey, said Dennis, over there, that road leads to shelter. Turn there, drop me off. I didn't see any sign for a settlement. I'll take you to some town along this highway. Yeah, okay, that works. It's probably some farm. No guarantee they'll welcome you there. Dennis pulled a gun from his waistband and nudged Emily in the ribs. Turn, bitch, or I'll shoot. Emily grimaced but obeyed. I helped you. And I flattened your tire while you were robbing honest folks. I'll do whatever you want, just don't kill us. Drive and keep quiet. The small road led them to a sturdy, large house. There were no lights visible in the house. Emily stopped the car in front of the house. Get out, and no tricks, Dennis commanded. Emily silently got out of the car, while Dennis kept his aim on her. Then he got out himself. Go to that door, Dennis. Apparently pressing a button on a remote, one of the garage doors slid up. Keep your hands where I can see them. Emily silently put her hands behind her head and walked towards the open garage door. You're a very attractive man, she said with a trembling voice. You don't need to intimidate me. I'll willingly do whatever you want. Bitch, you think I want your beaten up body? Although you're right, your body does interest me, but not in the way you hope, trash. Emily and Dennis entered the garage. It was completely empty, except for a dangling hose for washing cars. Dennis stood in front of her, pointing the gun at her face. Is this where you killed them? Who? Who? Well, I'm not the first victim. The cop said people went missing here. Society's rejects, just like you. A thief and a slut. One of them was pregnant. How do you know? Dennis asked, surprised. I'm somewhat clairvoyant, Emily whispered. Well, your clairvoyance led you here, didn't it? The guy smirked. Don't kill my children. They're not guilty of being mine. I need to eat. The guy's face contorted, revealing his true psychopathic nature. Seeing Emily's shock and disgust, Dennis smiled with a fully deranged grin. Yes, I live like a master. I eat what I kill. You're all scum, leeching off the working people of society, bums, thieves, like you. You think stealing a car is okay? Someone worked their ass off to buy it, while you were fooling around with your bastard daddy, birthing these rejects, just like you and their daddy. I'm sure he was into drugs, that's why he got a bullet. Am I right? No, Emily replied quietly. He wasn't involved in drugs. Doesn't matter, probably something similar. And I'm cleaning up society from the likes of you. If my father knew what I was doing, he'd be proud of me. But it's a secret, Shaish. Let him think I'm weak and a bad businessman. Someday he'll find out I'm a hero, protecting working people like him from all the scum and parasites. They were innocent people, said Emily, inhaling sharply through her nose. 8 people, 3 men, 5 women, one of them pregnant. More of your clairvoyance? Why, yes. They were all scum dumb, willing to do anything for a free roof and food. I saw you stuffing cheap food under your jacket from the street. What kind of scum steals such cheap stuff? They'll find you, Emily said in a colorless voice. They won't find me. You know who my father is, one of the richest men in this state. Who's going to suspect me? Who's going to link me to the murders of all that trash? My father gave me full control over this house. He won't come here until the summer hunting season. By then, I'll be rid of what's left of you and your bastards. All the land and forest around here belongs to my family. Plenty of places to bury bodies. Do you think your clairvoyance scares me? Kneel, bitch. Before a man, you're a creature. There was something fleeting in Emily's frightened eyes at the word creature, something elusive, as she slowly got down on all fours, keeping her eyes on the psychopath. Dennis continued mockingly. Well, let me try my hand at clairvoyance. I can please you by saying I'll kill you just like someone killed your man. No, Emily replied, not the same way. Why not, bitch? The one who killed my husband loaded the gun with a silver bullet. Much faster than Dennis could comprehend her words, and his finger trembled on the trigger. Emily's eyes turned yellow, her fangs elongated, and she lunged. Get up, kids, Emily nudged the children. The boy stretched, yawned, sniffed, abruptly opened his eyes, and exclaimed hoarsely, "Meat. Mom, did you find fresh meat?" "Meat, meat," his sisters chimed in, showing their small but already sharp teeth. "Yes, meat. And finally a roof over our heads until summer."